Hello, this is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I don't
Ooh.
remember what the gimmick from last time was. We're still recording these well before October.
Listen.
It's been weeks.
It's
It's
Halloween.
been a long time, and
It's
Silk Song came out today.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Date it. Backdate that one, motherfuckers.
Listen, I ate a jack-o'-lantern themed brownie today that I purchased in the store recently, so it's basically Halloween.
Walmart
is
does
what
have
I'm
their
saying.
Halloween shit out.
It's
I
true.
nearly purchased American Psycho on DVD while I was there.
That's awesome.
So, who else here? There's me, moi, Magpie.
Hi, Magpie. Hi,
Hi,
I'm
Magpie.
Joey. Nice to meet you. Listen, we're not gonna pretend I'm wearing an outfit today. We're just casual with it. I'm wearing
Mhm.
cozy jammies.
Hey, it's Emma. I am alive once more. I die every time you're not listening to this podcast. So
Now it
please,
should be
please
noted.
don't.
It should be noted for the listeners because they can't see. While JoJo has elected to not wear a costume, I believe Emma has arrived in a full cosplay of the mother from Hereditary.
That's true
That's
because
true.
nobody helps me in this house.
Like that's exactly what she says in the movie. Nobody helps me in this house.
That's what she says. So she's like, nobody helps me in this house.
This is
Nobody washes their dishes.
this is completely irrelevant, but I was watching a clip from Bill Burr, one of Bill Burr's podcasts, and he was talking about uh, Japanese horror movies. And he ended a segment where he was just like, I get way too into them. I couldn't finish the Babadook. I had to turn it off, so I didn't know how they killed it at the end. So every time I would turn off my lights for like a month, it would be like Babadook, dook, dook.
I don't.
And there, I don't know who he's doing it with, but there is an Asian guy he was doing it with who immediately upon hearing that just said, "Hey, Bill, have you seen Hereditary?"
Whoa.
I'm just like,
Oh,
that's
that's too
cruel.
scary.
You're going to kill him.
He's not gonna make it. He's not going to live.
It's over.
It's so Jover. Uh, yeah, it's Halloween episode recording time, and
It's true.
the last time we saw an oldie but a goodie from 1985 about vampires.
Yes.
So I thought I would follow up with the film that I actually uh, know from my teenage years. Uh, that is also Vampire Hunter D. Subtitle in America, Bloodlust.
It's more. It's more
It's
Vampire
more of
Hunter
this
Yes.
from the
D.
year 2000.
Yes.
I loved the first one, so I'm
Contemporary
excited.
with adolescence of Utana. We will see if it is as
Ooh.
philosophically relevant.
I don't think
I'm
it'll.
hopeful.
I don't know that it's going to make me cry like Utana did, but
Maybe
you
not,
never know.
but it might
Maybe
make you hard.
it might. Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna cut it there.
I don't know why I said that, and I'm sorry.
A podcast? No, I'm just here to keep a promise to an old friend.
Oh, great. Good.
This
Very
movie
nice.
fucking rules.
This was
You ever-
awesome.
You see, you remember anime shit that you saw when you were a teenager, and you're just like, I don't
Yeah.
know if that holds up. No, this movie fucking
This movie
rules.
rules. Like, remember how if anyone listened to our last episode, where we watched the previous one, we gave
We
it quite
like
high
that
praise.
one. This one is
This
better.
one is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Emma,
It's incredible.
would you like to read a blurb?
I would love to read a blurb.
All right.
When the soothing comfort of sunlight starts to fade, beings of seraphic beauty become the undisputed masters of the night, instilling fear in every living creature.
Ooh.
Water turns into ice before these blood-sucking monsters, and their victims realize that this uncanny chill is the harbinger of their inevitable demise. Fortunately, the number of vampires is dwindling, thanks to the dauntless bounty hunters who track down and slay the near-immortal predators. One night, tragedy befalls the Elborn family as their daughter, Charlotte, is abducted by Maiar Link, a revered vampire lord protected by an army of monsters. To save their beloved Charlotte, her family recruits the Marcus brothers, a group of vampire hunters known for their ruthlessness, and Dee, a sword-wielding Dhampir, although the English dub for this movie called it
We'll get there.
Dunpio.
We're going
We'll
to
get
discuss
there.
that.
A half-vampire, half-human who has the strengths of both species and the weaknesses of neither. The hunters rush to rescue Charlotte, but if her abductor decides to turn her into a vampire, they should eliminate her. Moreover, their mission must... That's a weirdly written. Moreover, their mission must be completed before Maya reaches the impregnable
Oh,
Bad to hell, yeah, she was. The impregnable vampire castle of Carmilla.
Fucking an impregnable
And takes Charlotte out of humanity's reach forever.
Okay, what poet wrote this?
We better stop talking about how pregnable Carmilla is, or I'm going to start acting
Yeah.
online.
She's pretty pregnable.
She's
I
so
don't know,
evil. So gang, yeah, this movie fucking rules. I want to get right into it because the
Yeah, 'cause it's
opening of
long.
the opening of this film is fucking incredible. It is perhaps the best introduction of a vampire I've ever seen.
Yes.
I haven't seen the three Nosferatus yet, but this one is gotta rank up there because a complete art style shift from the previous film. Not to say the previous film was particularly ugly or anything, but
It looked good, but
the
this looked great.
Yeah.
the production committee behind this team bothered to look at Yoshitaka Amano's art for Vampire
Yeah,
Entity
true.
and made it look like that.
Yes.
So it is highly detailed in a similar manner to Trigun or if you all remember Blood the Last Vampire.
Yeah.
Has some shades
Yeah.
of this. It is
Once again, strong Trigun with, especially when they get to like anything that's got like ruins sticking out of the deserty ground. Lots of those vibes in this.
so yeah, we open over a Victorian city. Notable in the fact that it is festooned with crosses on every rooftop. And we follow a number of impressive like zoom and crane shots basically. Like the camera goes into a grate and comes out into a lower part of the city and it's great. Uh but we are made aware of the approach of a carriage. Uh we are made aware of this because of the effects that precede the vampire inside. Every cross in the city bends
They
on its
crinkle. All the
bend
flowers wither away.
bends on its stem. The fucking fountains freeze.
Yeah.
Dogs cease barking and retreat into holes.
So good.
A carriage drawn by four cycloptic vampire horses. The only other time I've seen a vampire horse outside of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure approaches and we are intercutting with scenes of a young woman in her bedroom. Charlotte is so beautiful that Emma gasped whenever she was introduced.
Give me a break.
Listen, it's understandable.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful in a very classical way.
Yeah.
She's not like wolf whistle attractive like Carmilla or what was her name? The strange mutant woman.
Oh,
We'll
the
have to talk about her.
fucking
Uh no, she's like a painting.
yeah.
And she rises from her bed just as the shutters on our window snap open, and the window itself blows inwards. with the arrival of Meyer Link. The mirror shatters, and he sweeps her up in his arms, and we don't get to see him because we simply see her reflection in the mirror floating because he's a vampire.
That was a great shot, by the way.
Every shot, every frame a painting.
Yes.
Genuinely.
Gorgeous. Loved it.
Gorgeous. So at the end of this segment, like he takes her away, and at the end of the segment, we enter a shockingly contrasting segment of noonday sun at a ruined mission. I appreciate the fact that they brought like an army of dudes to this
Yeah, it was very funny.
to this meet. Like
All of them are just
they're clearly afraid of him. Um,
they would not have been able to take him down, I'll just say that.
but yeah, a half dozen guys are in the ruins of the mission, and one of them through a sniper scope is keeping an eye on the road, down which we see arriving our boy, the vampire hunter D. He is beautiful.
When I saw him, I gasped.
We will, they will even remark upon this later.
Many
But
many characters acknowledge his beauty.
a gay old man will hit on him. Um, but yeah, he slowly approaches while these guys just shuffle around nervously. I'd forgotten was how this scene went. So I was just like, oh, did this movie open with a fight? And it's just like, no, it doesn't open with a fight. They're
Nope.
just afraid of him. Uh, and he stands in the doorway of this old mission. A young man on the other side turns to him and lays out the circumstances uh, of this job he has to offer him. He says, "My sister Charlotte has been kidnapped by the vampire Meyerlink. I am offering you $10 million to get her back."
$10
Uh,
million.
but you'd better hurry. I have also hired the Marcus brothers, and they have a head start. And D says, "Well, that's not enough," and he goes to leave.
It's like, damn, D.
Um, well, actually, you get insight into his living expenses later, and he may not be be wrong for this,
Mhm.
because he sensed that he could haggle a little bit. Because the man in the cool electric Victorian wheelchair in the back, who was saying a prayer, by the way, suddenly turned and just like, "Wait, I'll double the price." And his son is just like, "That's outrageous," and he's just like, "On one condition," because Dees just says, just like, "What if he's already turned her?" It's just like, well, in that case, you'll have to end her life and end her suffering for us. And I'll offer you 20 million for this. And he just walked up and takes the money.
Yeah.
He takes his down payment and goes. And yeah, the L boards are clearly not happy about this, but whatever. Uh, the next scene is the introduction to our secondary protagonist crew.
This
I
scene
believe.
rules so hard.
I fucking love this. They call it a tank, but yeah, this enormous vehicle pulls up in a town square at just after dusk, uh, and the door there's a drunk by the town well, and he just looked up. He's like, "Huh?" And the door swings open, and a hand just comes out of the darkness and hoists him up. Uh, and he just says, "Did you see a carriage with 4 horses come through here?" And he says, "No, I ain't seen anything." And he just cranes his head and neck to the right and reveals the vampire bite on it. And he just says, "You're lying."
Then yeah.
And yeah, the hobo the drunk goes for him, and he just fills him with 4 crossbow bolts and throws him down the well. The way the Marcus brothers do things is not as elegant as the way that D does things, but I appreciate their enthusiasm.
They're a little bit of a yeehaw gang,
They're a
but I'm
little
here
they're a
for
little
it.
yeehaw. They've got some tricks. Um, they've got some strats. One of them has a fucking bazooka.
One of them's got a big ol' hammer.
Um,
Don't get attached.
so yeah, they close the doors, and it quickly becomes clear that the whole town has been turned. Um, and they're just like, shit, this is a problem. There's about fucking 400 of them out there. He must have come through this way. Uh, and they stop near the, and like they drive over a bunch of them, but they stop near the graveyard, and they're just like, well, we better get out and handle this. And we get introduced to our guys who have, as Jojo mentioned this to me, who have perfectly normal future names. If you'd like to give them, Jojo.
Yeah, in the future you get named things like Borgoff and Grove, or you might be named Kyle, for instance.
Just Kyle. The
Just
funny
Kyle.
thing is that Kyle has the funniest outfit.
Yeah,
Because
he does.
Kyle is wearing like I don't
It's
think
a
I can't
little
even figure
slutty.
out what kind of material this is, but he's wearing a skin tight suit that is cut to the navel.
Oh yeah.
It looks like he's dressed for Olympic level pole dancing.
Good
He's
for him. Good
incredible.
for him.
And then there's him. There's Nolt,
Nolt.
who is a giant who just has a pointy hammer
And a huge cross painted on his
and a
face.
huge cross painted on his face, and I think he has cyborg shit out the back of his
Yeah.
head.
Grove is the sickly brother, and
Grove is
Borgoff is kind of the
yeah,
leader.
Grove is inside. He is sickly. They do not waste him on small fry.
And Layla's the girl.
Yeah, Borgoff's a guy with a big Abraham Lincoln beard
Mm-hmm.
and a hand crossbow, and they get out and proceed to do cool guy shit.
And they say
Um,
it's zombie time, and it was
they
sampled in a song that I listened to as a teenager, and I lost it a little bit.
Go immense psychic damage because Borgoff gets out and just says, "Well, here they come. It's zombie time."
And I was like, points, Gaslight Anthem.
Because it is because it is very much zombie time.
Yes.
So they wait for them to gather up for a moment, and then they unleash their Chrono Trigger special attacks.
The
Borgoff
zombies
shoots
don't make it.
about 10,000 bolts into the sky.
Yeah.
Kyle just has knives. He's a knife guy,
Mm-hmm.
but he can throw them like the guy from the previous one did. He's
Mm-hmm.
got his boomerang knives, and yeah, he cleaves a bunch of them apart. Noel just gets out there and starts monster matching through them.
Yep.
And one very deliberately and slowly approaches Layla, and she just very calmly takes out the largest handgun I've ever seen an anime character use, and stick it calmly into its mouth and just vaporize its entire head. It looks like an energy weapon. I have no idea what it does, but every time she fires
No.
it, something horrible happens.
Yeah.
She
Maybe
just
it's
leaves
magic.
gigantic holes and things.
Yeah,
It's
she
crazy.
backspaces fools. It's crazy.
And yeah, that's just there to introduce them. And Grove is just like, "Hey, you guys having fun out there without me?
Yeah. We're
I'm
saving Grove for later.
I'm too sickly." And they get ready to keep moseying, but Borgoff hears something. He just says, "Oh, wait a second, I hear something. That's hooves. That's a horse. It's coming over the edge of the hill. Hang on." Because he shot a zombie who decided to run uh, in an impressive trick shot, and he closes his eyes and he puts out his arm and he says, "He's coming up that way, and now," and he fires an impressive blind shot that arcs over the hill and is immediately caught by D,
He would have
whose
hit
horse
anyone
rears up
else.
for it. And I say, based.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Because he's doing a D pose.
Yeah, I loved
Um,
it.
this is a D pose, not an A pose. Um, and he just snaps it. And Morgoth just goes, that's delightful. What's your name?" And he's just like, "D." He's like, "I'm Borgoff," and D just leaves.
Yeah. He's like, whatever, dude.
And they start bickering about it. They're just like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, we just basically just did him a favor, didn't we?" And he's the competition.
Yeah.
And Borgov's just like, well, don't worry about it too much. I'm going to tell you a incomprehensible joke about an owl.
Yeah,
The squirrel and the owl, which I
I
will
forgot about it.
reproduce. I will reproduce here for the podcast, which is so a squirrel worked all through the winter, gathering nuts and berries and all that kind of thing. And he works real hard, and he goes out at the first snow just for a last look around. And as he's looking around, an owl swoops down and snatches him up. And he thinks to himself, "Man, what's going to happen to all that good food?" Kyle looks bored. Nope thinks it's the funniest thing that he has ever fucking heard. And Layla breaks off her Dark Knight bitchin' monocycle from the side of
Just fucking
uh,
goes.
the road train and just goes. And they're just like,
Yeah.
yo, what the fuck?
Like, it wasn't that bad a story.
It
Whatever.
wasn't that bad a story. Um, so this one is easier to remember and to talk about because it is actually a very simple plot. It is a journey from A to B to C to D.
Yeah, to me,
So,
it's a much more comprehensive movie, if that makes any sense.
mhm.
Like,
uh, so in the next part, we have to rejoin D because I believe the next part is in the desert, is it
yeah,
not?
he goes to
It
the
is.
desert and he sees the
He
sand.
he
They
go-
call them
he
the
goes to
sand mantas.
he goes to the desert to Aura Farm. And yeah,
His
he's
hand starts
following.
yelling at him.
Yeah, so his parasitic hand speaks a lot more in this movie, and is played by a different voice actor, and has a horrible little face, which I really love. Um, and he uses it to read the tracks left by the carriage in the sand. This is an area that's been like completely swallowed by sand dunes. It looked like it used to be
Mhm.
like a highway freeway overpass. Um, and he puts his hand down and he's just like, "Yep, this is their tracks. I'd say about 6 hours old. Can you pull me up? I'm starting to suffocate."
That part got me. It did.
He's always doing bits. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually looked this up. And the hand in this film, I not in the last one, but in this one is played by Mike McShane, who was a infrequent I don't know what to call him, correspondent, I guess, on the British Whose Line Is It Anyway?
oh yeah,
Oh, that's
Uh-huh.
fun. Neat.
that's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that they must have just been like, okay, Mike, here's the actual line, and you just say whatever you feel like saying, man,
Say what you feel like.
Make some
the hand is
jokes.
not gonna be on screen.
Um, so so yeah, it was like, all right, well, let's get going. And he says, "Wait a second, I hear something." And he's just like, sounds like sand mantas. Uh, and yes, it is indeed sand mantas.
They're so
They
big.
are fucking gigantic. And Dee's just like, okay, I guess I'll ride through this. While the hand is just like, no, 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 wait. He just nimbly like maneuvers his horse on and off their backs while
Mhm.
they jump through the air like it's Shadow of the fucking Colossus. He
Yeah.
looks bored while he
He's so cool, you
he's
guys.
too cool.
He's way too cool.
Uh, I don't know if this is where they mention heat sickness. I think
Yeah,
it might
it's
be
around that point. He's like, his
because
hand is like, you're gonna get heat syndrome.
you're gonna get heat syndrome because he does in fact share some of the weaknesses of vampires,
Hmm.
which is he cannot handle that much sun. He is a
Yeah,
creature of the dusk.
yeah.
Um, uh, and then what's the transition to the next scene? Because the next scene I remember is the rest house. How do they get
Yeah.
there?
It's the he just happens to walk up to it and he's like, wow, here's the rest house.
Well, I
Here's
mean,
this
it's a
invisible
gr
evil cube.
I guess I just missed some sort of interstitial scene because the next scene is green.
Yeah, they just traveled for a bit, I think.
Yeah, they just travel for a bit. And they come up on this cube that's clearly like some sort of electronic like building like with cameras on one side showing you uh the feed on the other so it looks halfway invisible.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it's covered in laser
I
eyes.
always remembered this scene because he looks at it and he's talking to the hand, and the hand's just like, I didn't know anybody had rest houses anymore. They must be inside. And Dee picks up a handful of pebbles and he just starts walking forward, flicking the pebbles up in the air. And as he does, like little lasers on the sides of the cube come out of little robotic eyeballs and hit the pebbles to the point where he's flicking like 4 or 5 at a time
Yeah. It's
and
quite
activating
funny.
all of the security measures. And he's just like, huh?
Meh, meh.
And he finally, when he manages to approach the building, he shoves the hand up to it, and he's just like, "What can you see in there?"
Where's the door?
He's like, just like, "Yeah, they're in there, 2 of them. She's still alive." And he's just like, "Do you see a door?" And he's just like, "Nope, no door here." And he just starts sliding him down the wall, just like,
Nope,
"Nope, not here.
not there.
Nope,
Nope,
try
not
another."
there. Nope,
Um,
try another.
uh,
Quite funny.
And while he's doing this, Layla approaches on her monocycle with a
Mhm.
much less subtle approach. Her approach is to just dodge them, scrub.
Yeah. Destruction. Boom, pow.
And while all of this is happening, the sun is going down, and we occasionally get views inside Meyer's coffin of him shifting as the sun goes down. And when it's finally below the horizon, a like arcane opening opens in the side of the cube, and he the carriage exits, just so that Layla can attempt to blow him the fuck up with a bazooka.
We get a little bit of a chase scene here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a chase scene, but yeah, she attempts to blow him the fuck up with a bazooka, and he effortlessly reflects the missile with his cape. So this is the coolest shit that Meyer Link does. And if you remember the previous film, I pointed out when Dee tried to hang on to something with his cape.
Yeah, he kind of does that too.
This is a
His
thing
cape is like
vampires do in this
it,
world.
it becomes like an extension of themselves, and I think that's really cool actually.
So
He
good.
uses it for offense, defense, and fucking flight. So
Yeah, he uses it to become Bat. It
Like the
like
becomes his
bat
own bat
has like a little
wings.
thumb on its wing.
yeah,
Yeah.
he does he uses it to become bat. He uses it as an impenetrable metallic shield. He uses the edge of it to cut.
Mhm.
Um, Very cool move. Um, D attempts to give chase, but is kind of like fucked by the situation. He's just like, well, better luck next time. Um, and as he's about to leave, he notices that Layla has actually caught a huge piece of shrapnel and is bleeding out
Mhm.
on the ground. And he is riding past, and the hand is just like, that's a real shame. All
Damn
that blood will
shame.
go to waste, man. Don't tell me you aren't thinking about it.
Mhm.
And as he rides on, he hears her mumble to herself. She just says, "Mother,"
Mom.
and he turns back, and the hand's just like, "I was kidding." But there's this a jump cut where he has placed her on the soft grass and is getting back on his horse, and she's like, "What did you do to me?" And she looks down, and her wound has been bound.
Mhm.
Uh, And he's just like, I simply bound your wound, and now I'll be going. And she's like, you think you can just pull the clothes off of anybody? Is that what you think
uh
done peel?
yeah,
So
done.
I guess it's time
We
to
gotta
address
address
it.
this.
It's tough. It's so tough.
Why
This
did they do
movie, for
that?
whatever reason, decided to transliterate vampire as done peel. And I don't know what that means. And they all say it so forcefully.
They all say it a
Yeah.
lot,
My
constantly.
I mean, the only thing that I can figure is that whoever did the localization just straight up had never heard the term Dompier before.
Did not know what a
Yeah.
vampire was.
Because in Japanese it would be Dampiru,
Mhm.
which like
Yeah,
you
like
could if you're I guess.
I
I
can
see
hear
how
it.
Done
they.
I can hear it. My mind is shifting into the
Mhm.
place.
Yes,
I see
yes,
how they
it's
got
scary.
it. It's just I like
It's just
Dampier
wrong.
is a
It's
term.
just very
It
wrong.
just pisses me off.
Uh it's the one really bad thing.
Yeah.
Not
Um
really
Of what
bad.
is
Come on, it's
otherwise,
mildly annoying.
of what is otherwise, I think an incredible English dub.
yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
quite
not a bad English dub at all. Now
pretty good.
the inclusion of Patricia is it Patricia Siegel?
Pamela,
Bobby.
right?
Pamela Siegel, i.e., Bobby Hill as
Bobby
Layla
Hill.
is a pretty interesting choice.
No, I don't want that.
It's
Wait, that's not a
okay,
thing. Who
Dad.
says that?
But you know what? She sold it. But then, like, every now and then,
She
if
did
she got
great.
hurt or something and she'd grunt, you'd be like, oh, there's
Oh,
that's
oh shit,
actually
that's
Bobby
Bobby.
Hill. Ow!
Oh,
Oh man,
we forgot something in the chase scene. By
what
Oh.
the
did we
way,
forget?
we forgot that Charlotte did call out.
I
She
forget
called his
exactly when
name.
that happens. I suppose it happens between after Layla
It's right
shoots the
before.
bazooka at him and before Dee stops to help her because
Yeah.
he chases them through a tunnel and jumps onto the back of the carriage and has a fight with Meyer Link, who is trolling him.
Yeah.
Because Meyer Link is quite good at just simply disappearing out of a sword swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and they have a conversation wherein Meyerling introduces himself. And this is where we get our first really good look at him. And I will say this, that Meyerlink easily mogs Magnus Lee. Magnus
Yeah.
Lee looked like a dentist.
Yeah. This vampire is beautiful to
Meyerlink
see.
looked like a Final Fantasy VI character.
He does.
This
And it's
guy got
good.
turned in time. You know,
Mhm.
Like
he got to
you
keep
look at
his
this
eternal youth and beauty.
you look at this guy and you're like, yeah, I could see how she could fall for this vampire.
Yeah, yeah. Magnus Lee fell into like a really unfortunate age range for being turned into
Yeah.
a vampire because he wasn't young enough to be beautiful and he wasn't old enough to be a silver fox.
Yeah, exactly. He just
Uh,
kind of looked like my eye doctor.
Yeah, definitely looked like an optometrist. But yeah, Meyer explains to him it's just like the woman is here of her own free will. Are you the type who would take a woman against her will just for the money? And D very rightfully just says, I would like to believe that, but you're not exactly credible.
yeah. Fair enough.
But he does lose this fight. He is thrown from the carriage
Yeah.
and forced to follow them on foot because D, while he is incredibly agile and strong, is not especially in tune with his supernatural powers otherwise.
Yeah.
He does not have any spells to cast. He does not fly. Um, so yeah, and he helps out Layla, and then we move from there. Um, is this where we go back to the tank?
Uh I think yeah, because we get a small scene of um Layla in the tank with Grove.
Yeah, she meets back up with the gang, and and when she does, yeah, they get to talking, and this is where we get our first good look at Grove. Grove is not doing very fucking well.
No.
Grove
He's
is hooked.
extremely bedridden.
He is bedridden with an IV. Um, and he looked at her and he just says, "Who bound that wound for you? Was it D? Um,
Was it the Dunpeel?
was it the Dunpeel? I don't want to say that.
The,
I'm not beholden to this script.
it
Um,
hurts.
was it the Dampier? And she just says, "Yeah," and she's just like, "You ought to stay away from him. Like nothing but misery follows."
Mhm.
And he's like kind of right, but
Yeah, like
uh,
I get it.
I feel so bad for Grove because he so very much wants all of his family to stay safe.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
But while they're talking, the road train is proceeding down Box Canyon, and Borgoff and the others are talking about the fact that they're going to have to approach Barbaroi because all these vampires, whenever they get scared, they make for Barbaroi, uh, and they're clearly familiar with it to a certain degree because Nolt really doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
It's just like I fucking hate that place. All those fucking freaks, and then there's that scary old man. What's wrong with him? Um, and as they're coming out of the Box Canyon, they see the carriage. It's stopped, and they say, "Huh, that's
Mm.
weird. I don't like that." It's like, all right, uh, Kyle, Nolt, we're getting out. Layla, you stay here with Grove. And they get out to approach the carriage, uh, and he just says, "It's not moving. The horses. Hmm. Nolt, you want to check that out?" And Nolt says, "It'll be my pleasure, boss. Anytime you give me the opportunity to swing this big fucking hammer." Um, and Nolt heads out, and he examines the thing, and he takes a big swing at it. And the hammer, whenever it hits the carriage, does not clunk. It
Mhm.
sails all the way through because it's just an illusion. It's a cloth.
Mhm.
It's like 24 feet of black cloth
Yeah.
just hanging from the end of his hammer, and he's just like, it's just it's just it's just a piece of scrap. I don't understand. Uh, and they are then assaulted uh, by a member of the Barbaroi. We'll find out later.
Mhm.
Uh, is it Benge? It's Benge. That's his
It's
It's
name.
Benge.
Bengay.
Bengi? They call him
Bengi.
Bengi in this.
Bengi.
Bengi.
He's
I
a little
see.
freak, but what he is also is fucking terrifying.
And very
Because
dangerous.
he swims up through Nolt's shadow and stabs it,
Yeah.
and then swims away in the darkness. And as they're looking at, and he laughs at them. Uh, and as they're looking around for their attacker, Borgoff just hears Nolt just say, "This is like, look out for the shadows," and he just stops talking. And when Borgoff turns around, he's just pouring blood from his mouth and chest because he has a wound there that wasn't there before. Uh, and him and Kyle like approach Nolt, and they're just like, "Come on, man, snap out of it." And Kyle's just like, he's dead. He's dead standing up."
Yeah. Nolt does not make it. Extremely
And,
does not make
Borgoff
it.
freaks out because his brother
He's
is
like,
dead.
he can't be dead.
Uh, Borgoff is like a funny character because he comes off as a very standard anime tough guy, but he has a depth of emotion that they usually don't have. He's very distressed by this.
Also, he's like very easily swayed for his family, which I think is very like like they did a
Mhm.
good job with making the rival crew all like
They're
really
they're all
likable
likable.
actually.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
they're kind of pricks later, but they're pricks to somebody who's their sworn enemy.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, it got Nolt. Nolt's finished. So we cut away from this scene to join D. And D is approaching the home of the Barbaroi. The two there's two windmills that go above it, and the hand is clearly pissed about it. He's just like, I don't want to go in there. This place
I
sucks.
hate these
Man,
guys.
turn
I hate
around.
these guys. And
These guys are
here we're gonna.
freaks. You don't want to go in there.
Oh yeah, but cause we gotta have a classic
We gotta have
Vampire
the
Hunter
Vampire
D
Hunter
awful
D
cave
gang of freaks scene.
gang of freaks scene.
Um, because yeah, D just ignores him and approaches the gate, and he just says very quietly, very politely, "I am D. I have business with the Barbaroi," and they open the doors for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes into another great freak scene. He passes some weirdos. He passes on the way in too. He passes a black lagoon monster who
Mm-hmm.
vibrates
Mm-hmm.
whenever he breathes. He
True.
passes some attractive snake bitches
Oh
who
yeah.
are
Very
We
very
true.
remember
scary.
these. We
Um,
remember these.
And whenever he gets in, there's just too many freaks to describe. But one that caught Emma off guard, I could hear, was a horrible little crab man who just
Because
scuttles out from a hole, and then he just scuttles back in.
he
Right
was
where he
there
came.
for like 4 frames. It was
Mhm.
it was like, I don't know, it was indescribable. It
He
was
just slides.
weirdcore. It
He
was
just,
like,
he just slides out, and he's just like,
Everything.
huh?
Everything
I don't
about
want
this
that.
scene was awesome. This
you
scene,
just
sorry, also had my favorite caption of the movie, which is "Creature noises stop."
Creature noises stop because he got off of his horse. Uh, and then he proceeds to have a conversation with a weird, a scary, weird gay old man
uh-huh. Who is
riding a
voiced by
unicycle.
Mongdal from Chowder.
Is that Dwight Schultz?
That is Dwight Schultz.
Okay, so I got to have a fun experience while you were away before we jumped into recording, which was looking up Dwight Schultz to find out
Uh-huh.
other stuff that he had been in, because you mentioned some stuff. What you did
Uh-huh.
not mention is that Dwight Schultz was fucking Reginald Barclay in Star Trek TNG, and I have
Yes.
seen this man attacked by teleporter eels and shit,
Yes.
and
I
I've seen him turned into a lizard.
Yeah.
I apologize that it slipped my mind. It slipped my mind as well that he was howling Mad Murdoch from the A-Team.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, wow.
A bunch of
yeah.
incredible credits on this man.
Yeah.
And now
Just
he's a little
the
freako.
most incongruous shit. So yeah, now he's a little freak who rides a unicycle around and is apparently the default elder of the Barbaroi. Um, so this guy lays it out in a conversation with D, because D looked over and he just sees the carriage. And he just says, I have a proposition for you. And he's just like, all right, let's hear it. And he's just like, I would like you to cease your protection of the carriage. And the little old man is just like, I understand. You're a very polite young man. You should go fuck yourself. We're going to kill you about it. You understand that he paid me, and that I was paid like $100 million to protect that shit? And we
There's
don't like
nothing
go
that
back on our deals.
there's nothing that anyone, not even a sexy little man like you, could do to stop me.
He's literally like, even though
I,
you're so beautiful.
you're so beautiful. I hope that doesn't disturb you to have that said to by a horrible old lech like me. I'm not paraphrasing.
Yeah,
That's
he's
literally the
actually word for
line.
word.
He
Yeah,
doesn't just say that.
word for word. Fantastic.
And it's just like, I'm afraid we're going to have to kill you. We can't let you leave. You know that. Um, so ND is just like, well, it's a shame that I'll have to kill so many of you. And he's just like, yes, yes, but we will get you eventually. He's just like, well, don't you think that's a little unfair?
100 to 1? Come on, man.
Come on. And the horrible jester from before Bengay, um, is just like, come on, let us three fight him. That'll be fair, won't it? It will it will be unfair, unfair, because he's a freak. He's really committed to being a freak. I appreciate it.
It's very good.
While they're having this talk, we cut back to the tank, and Borgoff and Kyle are looking in on this, and they're just going like, "What the fuck is he doing in there?" And Borgoff's is like, "You know what? I don't care anymore. It's just like, you know what? It's time to wake up Grove."
Grove, get
So
in there.
So yeah, they pop in there and they're just like, "Can you do this for us, buddy?" And they don't force him, which I appreciate.
Hmm
But they get out the drug.
His
So
power juice.
my my read on this situation is that Grove himself is a mutant of some variety, and they
Hmm
use this medicine to help him with his astral projection.
Yes.
Yes.
Um, because Layla just says, "He's like, don't push yourself too hard. I want you to come back." So D and the horrible little man's conversation is interrupted by the arrival of Grove, who looks like he's having the greatest time anybody's had. Do you guys remember
Yes.
that scene where they thought Mr. Burns was an alien in The Simpsons? It's like that if Mr. Burns was floating 4 feet off the ground and projecting white hot lasers of psychic energy through anybody who looked at it.
I
That
need you
is an
guys to know how
insane pull.
quick work Grove makes of every single creature in this cave.
Grove
He
is
fucks them
unstoppable.
up.
This is
Yeah.
the reason that they are successful vampire hunters. Because yeah, they all have their individual tricks and they work great on zombies and shit. But if there's a real problem, they could just send Grove to destroy it with his fucking spiritual power.
Yeah.
It's
Grove is their
crazy.
ultimate.
Literally.
And yeah, he effortlessly destroys everyone in here. And the crew is just like, oh fuck, we got to get the fuck out of here. um, you see that shit?
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I
I
know.
I want to know what would happen if Grove had fought Meyerling. Like, could
I
he have
know.
done anything about it?
Maybe. I don't
Um,
know.
because you can't even harm him. He appears to be made out of a fog.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's literally astral projecting. I don't think you could
Um,
destroy him unless you
but
got his actual body.
yeah, there is another chase scene here, like you do, uh, in which Dee and Grove chase after the carriage. And Grove attempts to turn and hinder Dee, but Dee does sort of bisect him and render him into his constituent mist,
Yeah.
causing them to have to reform back in his body. um,
I think his horse gets destroyed around here.
yeah, during the chase, he's because he's chasing after the carriage crew, Meyer Link and his three boner brothers. Bengay does the single most effective thing anybody has done to hinder D, which is hit him with the fucking Demon City Shinjuku move and throw him into the fucking Phantom Zone.
Yep. Into the pit
He
you go.
traps him into a giant. He traps him in a giant like shadow cloak, and his horse falls into a ravine and explodes. The poor creature.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do away with that, and then the road train, comes up behind the carriage, and they appear to be in the lead. But second Freako's time is here.
Oh
I
yeah.
forget what her name is, but
Caroline. Her name
Caroline.
is Caroline.
She's got a exotic future name like Caroline.
Yeah.
The thing
Exactly.
is Caroline is a mutant of like X-Men quality power and like sexual magnetism.
Yeah, she really is
The-
like X-Men mutant. Like
She's incredible.
she's really good.
She's got huge green hair.
Oh yeah.
I
Uh,
did have to look up whether this movie came out before or after Terminator 2,
mhm.
because of her powers. But
uh, so they would be difficult to explain, but what I think she basically can do is, well, she rolls off the carriage and hangs onto the bottom of the road train. And they're just like, that was a weird. Just like, Kyle, go check that out. And Kyle, opens the hatch. But with her hanging on the bottom, her skin turns to the color of metal. Uh, and she begins to. I think she takes on the
Yeah, I think
properties of whatever she touches.
whatever metal or material that she's touching, and then she can just control
And she can do some
whatever.
limited shape shifting, because
Yeah.
what she does is meld into the bottom of the tank and fill it with fucking spikes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like,
Which
oh god, this is freak shit.
she doesn't kill anybody this way, but it severely damages the tank and
Yeah.
prevents it chasing them down. Uh, is this where Benge dies?
Uh, it's close to here.
Yeah,
I think
because
this might be.
yeah, this happens. This happens in relatively short order. Because she withdraws to the carriage, and her and Wolfman take off,
Yeah,
and
because
leave
Benge is
Benge
doing a
behind.
spell on D
Yeah,
with
he's
his
got him
little
entrapped in
webs.
his fucking soul prison.
Yeah.
yes,
um, So, and he's also taking charge of the bounty hunter situation because he plans to kill them at this juncture.
Mhm.
So, they're on some they're in a hard pan desert valley that looks like it used to be an oil field. Uh, and Borgoff sticks his head out and he's just like, Kyle, where are you? And Kyle's just like, I'm here. Shut up. They're still around. Uh, and they split up to take on Bengay. Uh, and he just says, remember to watch out for the shadows. Try not to move too much. Um, and yeah, Benge's creeping across the long shadows at sunset.
Mhm.
And he comes up from swimming in them once, and you can see he had a cat's cradle that represented Dee's spell, and it falls apart because there's a scene where Dee activates the hand and just
The
sucks up
hand
the
just
spell.
eats it, slurps it up
It
like a
just
bunch of
eats the
spaghetti
magic.
noodles.
Um, and yeah, they face off with him, and you're just like, oh no, these guys are fucked. These are just regular guys, but they trick him because they split up and they trick him into going after Kyle because his shadow is intersecting with the shadow of the fucking iron ruins around them, and he swims up towards it. Uh, and whenever he goes to stab his shadow, he looks up and he sees the glint of like a dozen bolts falling on him.
Yep.
And yeah, he catches them and he turns into cloth, and it's a complicated scene, but eventually they find out where his real body is, and Kyle just cleaves him in twain.
Yeah. He
um,
goes.
he does a little couple of backflips.
He like floats away.
This movie, wait, did this movie at the box office? It says here on Wikipedia. I just looked. Made $151,000,
Huh.
not million, thousand.
Wow.
Damn.
Maybe that's just the United States, but
It feels like it should have
I
been
would
so much more.
I would think like a Madhouse movie would make that little money, but
Huh.
they get rid of him, and they stop to fix the tank, and they have a little conversation about it because they're just like,
Mhm.
this thing is fucked. It's just like, what are we gonna do about this Borghoff? And Borghoff is just staring into the middle distance, and they're just like, Borghoff. Layla comes out, and they're just like, how's Grove? And it's just like, well, he's not doing great. And he's like, what are we gonna do about this Borghoff? What are you thinking about over there? And he's just like, I was just thinking that there's only two places that they would be heading for. They would be heading for like the port of like Denier, or they would be heading deeper into the mountains to a hidey hole. And I was thinking that the tank isn't going to move like it is. The fuel's all over the valley floor, but the town of like Grecos is not that far away. Uh, so what if I stayed here and you two went and got fuel on the monobike?
Mhm.
And they do that. It's very simple. Uh, and there's a couple of scenes where they're like they there's some machine pornography.
Yeah.
I love to see a fuel like hose like clunk into place and twist and like steam come out.
Yes.
I love
Very
it.
good. Very good.
We have to watch fucking Pat Labor in here at some point because of that. We just point at robots and
Yeah.
do the worst description ever because it's all going to be visual. Um,
But looked really cool, I promise
it
you
looks so
guys.
cool, gang.
Looked
But yeah, they fill it up, and the villagers don't even want to like take their money. That's how, and you could tell that like the Marcus brothers are like well regarded for being like abomination killers.
Mhm. And it's funny because they're like, no, 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 we can't take your money. And it's funny because the Marcus brothers too are just like, no, we will pay you. They're
No,
like,
take the damn money.
they're like actually decent people. Like
They're
for the
nice
most part,
people.
they're like pretty
Um,
nice people.
they do a dangerous job, but they're all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kyle's just like, all right, we're all loaded up, and Layla sees Dee walking into town. Sans horse, of course. He's just got his saddle thrown over his shoulder. Um, and she's just like, why don't you go on back? I got something to do here. And Kyle gets his only interesting lines in the movie, where he just leans in real close to her face, and there's a beat. He just says, "Have I ever told you how sexy you are in that skin tight getup?" And she's just like, "No, tell me." I just did. You be careful around that damper.
Yeah.
And he heads back, and she stops in for a drink.
Hmm.
Um, she walks into a Trigun saloon. So
Literally.
I wrote a note about this, my only note for the film, because I wanted to remember this, because I saw her contrasted against these people, and I wrote Trigun fashion sense. Regular people are cowboys.
Yes.
Main
It's
characters
good.
wear skin-tight red leather
Yes.
with
Yes.
huge shoulder pads, or they wear
Yes.
enormous hats with gemstones in the side.
No, I guess you're right.
But yeah, she sits down at the bar, and the sheriff comes in after her. And this guy is like an advanced cowboy, but he's still a cowboy. In fact, he looks like he works for Gwyn Reinford from fucking Carne Gundam. But
Uh,
they have a Western moment here because
mhm.
he looks down and he's like, "That's a fancy pistol you got right there." He says, "Well, don't worry about it. I don't plan to use it anytime soon." He says, "Well, I don't have any intention of letting you keep it." And he's just like, "Go on, hand it over, little girl." And she takes a long pull off of her beer,
Mm.
uh, and snaps it out right in front of his face. And you really get an appreciation for how fucking huge this gun is. She doesn't get to
Yeah.
use it that often.
Yeah. But she shows it off.
Um,
Great.
and then she just rolls it over, handle for towards him. And he's just like, "Ah, thank you." And she just says, "Well, I'm surprised you aren't too busy with that damper hunter in town." And he just says, "What the fuck did you just say to me?"
Yeah,
I was like,
I
oh,
couldn't.
she's here to make trouble.
He's
I
making trouble, and he's the fucking sheriff of a sundown town.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell if it was meant to be comedy or not, but it was funny as fuck the way
It
he was like,
was.
"What did you
Yeah.
say?"
Ugh.
Because D is in town and he is attempting to buy a horse. He is actually succeeding in buying a horse because he
Mhm.
just wanders into the place. There's a horse over there. There's an old man working on some electronics. And he says, "I want to buy that horse." And the old man says, "Give me $300,000." And he gives him $300,000
That's the. I
in
think it's funny.
coinage
Yeah. There's like these coins must be worth a lot.
and fucking doubloons, I
Yeah.
guess. We can't afford to sit here and work out
No,
the
we
value of
can't.
each individual
We
coin.
really
No.
can't.
But suffice to say, it's a lot. And yeah, he goes to saddle up his horse, and while he's saddling up his horse, the fucking boner brigade shows up to do a racism to
Yeah.
him, and he says, and he just says, "Stop right there! What are you doing?" They walk up on him, and he just says, "Leave, take your saddle and leave." And the old man is just like, "Hey, he paid good money for that horse." And he's just like, "You can't sell that to him. You know we have laws about that.
He
About
throws all the coins on the floor dramatically.
Yeah, he does it real dramatic. Like, you know we have laws about that." He's just like, "What laws? What are you talking about?" It's just like, dampers aren't allowed. And the old man is just like, "Let me tell you a story, you dumb motherfucker."
I love this scene.
This old man's great.
He's
Um,
great.
it's just like, this was long before your dumb ass was born. But 50 years or so back, there were vampires and damper all over. And he's just like, "Yeah, that's why we have the laws." And he's like, "Shut up." Now, 10 children were kidnapped from this town, and the kidnappers were vampires. And so the townsfolk, they hired a bounty hunter, and they wanted the best. So they pooled all their money and they hired a damper bounty hunter. And he did the job. He got those children back. And when he got back, they didn't pay him. They attacked him. They ran him out of town. And he's just like, "Yeah, yeah, that's what they should have done. You can't trust them." And the old man is just like, "All right, I'm gonna have to be more direct to get through to you, through your dumb fucking thick skull." And he pulls out a fucking bazooka that he's been working
He
on,
pulls out
and
what
he
looks like a mini nuke.
and he just points it directly at his face, and he's just like, "Hey, now, Parker, put that down." And he just shoves it closer, and he's just like, "I will use this thing, and I'll probably enjoy it." Now you let
Uh,
that man take his horse he paid.
yep.
And D takes the horse and leaves. And the old man just says to him, it's just like, "You probably wouldn't recognize me now. I'm so old, but I could never forget that face and what you done for me."
Mhm.
I was just like, "Oh, that's so nice."
Yeah, he was one of the children.
He was
Yeah.
one of the boys.
Aw.
How do we get to the next scene? The next scene is just the carriage crew hanging out.
Yeah, they're like on the side. I think he's letting Charlotte get some sunlight.
Yeah, he lets Charlotte get some sunlight, but I'm wondering why they stopped to begin with. I guess maybe they're watering the horses. But
Yeah, because the
yeah,
horses are like
Caroline and
growing.
Caroline and Wolf Boy. I've forgotten his name. I didn't.
The
I don't think I ever. I don't think they ever said his name.
I don't. They
The
might
Wolf
have.
Man. But they're hanging out, and the carriage door opens, and he just says, "Master, can I help you?" And a leg comes out, and he says, "Master, the light up." And then Caroline comes out, and Meyer, laying from inside, is just like, "Let her enjoy the sun. She misses it." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, Caroline heads out to enjoy the day because it might be one of her last in the sunlight. She's having a stroll in some ruins whenever she runs into D. D is just standing behind one of the pillars, and he steps out and he just says, "Young lady, I've come for you." And she's afraid of him. And he's just like, "I won't hurt you." And they have a conversation about the fact that she is in love with Meyerlink
Yeah, he's
because
like,
he
you called
hurt.
out his name before.
You know, why did you call out his name? She's like, I'm in love with him, and she's just like, D's just like, you don't know who he is. Uh, and D is like right here to a certain degree
Hmm.
because in D's experience, he's been alive for like thousands of years, and probably most of the vampires he's encountered have been mentally ill in some way
Well, if you
because
live that long,
you
yeah.
don't live for thousands of years and stay whole.
Mhm,
While they're having this conversation, she is in fact ambushed by Layla, who has crept up behind them.
mhm.
And she's just like, "You're coming with me." And she's like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And I'm even less accepting of the idea than me.
Yeah.
You are money. Come with me. And they get attacked by Caroline and the Wolfman because
Oh, the
they have
wolf
noticed
man's
something's
name is
wrong.
Mashira, by the way.
Mashiro takes Charlotte away, and Caroline fights the two of them. Layla gets to fire her huge fucking gun, and it does something scary, but hits nobody.
She's doing her best.
And she gets tossed to the side while D fights Caroline. This is a cool fucking fight.
Yeah,
Extremely.
quite good.
Um, Caroline is so fucking scary and powerful and
And
leaping all over the place and oh yeah, doing that.
Looking like that.
Um, she's shooting spikes at him and shit, and she leads him into the forest, and they have a fight there, and D starts to flag, and the parasite in his hand is just like, "You fool! I told you that heat exhaustion would get you. You've had too
Mhm.
much sunlight. If you don't dig a hole, you won't survive." Um, and I think this has to do with vampires needing to rest in soil.
Yeah,
Um,
something about that.
but he doesn't end up vanquishing Caroline. She turns into a tree, and he cuts the tree down.
Hmm. Kind of.
Uh,
He cuts her head off.
yeah, he cuts the tree down, and she has to leap from it. And when she does, she sees him coming towards her, swinging from a vine like George of the fucking jungle. And he cuts her head free, and her body falls to the ground and turns from wood back into meat. And then he slinks away. But after he does, we see her head is still strung up by her hair to the
Which is.
branches, and her eyes open. Yeah, we rejoin Layla as because she was thrown aside during the fighting, and she sees D off in the distance, trying to dig a hole with his sword.
He looks very pitiful.
Yeah, he looks bad. Uh, and she has a communication with the Marcus brothers, and she's just like, our target is heading north. I'll join you. I'll catch up with you soon. Uh,
Mhm.
and she goes to do so. She actually gets snatched up because Caroline is already back. Um, and she hoists her up into a tree with her tentacle hair and pulls her all the way up, face to face. And Layla snatches a knife from her boot and throws it into her forehead, which you would think would be another kill shot, but she just stops for a moment. She's just like, "Ah, that clears my head. Maybe I should do the same for you." But this whole time, it's been starting to drizzle, and a lightning bolt strikes the knife pommel and fries her like a chicken.
He doesn't make it this time. She really doesn't.
Yeah, I just looked. It showed her burning corpse, and I was just like, guys, I don't think she's gonna make it.
We actually heard him go, "Aw."
Oh man. Whenever she hits the ground, she looks in on D because he was in the hollow of a huge tree, and he's collapsed there, and she's just like, tables have turned, huh? And in the next scene, she's like buried him up to his head,
Mhm.
and she's sitting there while it pours rain, and he starts to wake up, and they have a sort of a nostalgic conversation because she's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay here until it stops raining. I don't want to get wet."
Mhm.
And they have this conversation about how their lives are basically how they're alone in the world because her parents were killed by vampires.
Mhm.
Um, a vampire abducted her mother, and when her father went to rescue her, he was killed. And then eventually her mother returned, but she was different. She had been turned, and the villagers stoned her to death.
Yeah.
Um, so that's when she decided to become a vampire hunter so that she could have her revenge. Uh, and eventually she's just like, you know what? The two of us are on the same path. We should make a pact. If one of us dies before the other, the other will leave flowers on their grave.
Mhm.
He's like, I don't know why. I just love flowers. I don't know. I shouldn't talk like this. It's silly. The rain's making me sentimental. And Dee just says, I'll do that.
Yeah. If I
She's like, I
live, which
wasn't
I don't
serious.
expect I will.
I don't expect to live. So the scene after this is the Marcus gang is all back together, and they're still tracking the carriage, going over a huge overpass, remnants of the old world, and they're just like, how are we going to get them before they get them before they get to the castle? Like, because they figured out they're heading to a place called the Castle of Chaythe,
Mhm.
I think, Canthe maybe.
Something like
Uh,
that.
that
Yeah.
was the home to the real fucking antagonist of this movie because it's not Meyerling. The real fucking antagonist of this movie was the bloody Queen Carmilla.
Fucking Carmilla, y'all.
You never get to see. Everybody talks about Dracula. You never get to see anybody talk about Camilla.
Hardly
Yeah.
ever get a Carmilla.
And
Um,
she's awesome.
who ruled for 5,000 years until she offended the Vampire King. He was disgusted with her vanity and bloodlust and drove his sword through her heart while she slept.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the end of her. Her ghost still haunts the castle.
She's such an evil bitch.
And right around this time we get a scene of Charlotte sitting in the carriage, which is, by the way, this has got to be weird travel arrangements. She's in the carriage in a chair beside Meyer's coffin. Sometimes
Yeah.
she's in the coffin with him.
Yeah.
Um, but Meyer is reading this letter in German that's inviting him to the castle to find
Mhm.
a quote unquote to find a path to the stars in the city of night. The Marcus brothers are just like we can't possibly fucking follow her in there. That's insane.
Mhm.
It's like, well, we just have to catch them before they get to the castle.
Yep.
So they're just like, let's do the plan that we did with the vampires from Kelda. They're just like, oh yeah, that'll work. So
Classic.
they head up to a bridge ahead of they head up to a bridge uh, in front of the carriage. It's not explained how they managed to get ahead of it, but the
They
last
just
one
do.
left, the last goon left is driving the carriage, and part of the bridge just explodes in front of him, and he stops.
Mhm.
Uh, and whenever the smoke clears, Borgoff is just standing in front of him with a detonator, and he just says, "You move, the rest of it will go boom. You don't want that, do you?"
Mhm.
Uh, and he's just like, Kyle, go get the girl out of the carriage. And Kyle goes to get the girl out of the carriage. Uh, They are less sympathetic to the romantic angle here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing: is
They want their
even
money, and Nolt is dead.
even me when I was watching this, I kept thinking, but is he just like using her for some reason? Is he
Oh, by the way, while this is happening, Machiro is using his werewolf senses. I
his
like this
werewolf
scene.
vision?
Um, but he figures out where the charges are placed because he can hear them ticking. By
Hmm.
the way, don't affix a timer to a bomb you're going to trigger with a detonator.
Yeah.
Pro tips here. They pull her out, and whenever they do, Machiro like jumps up, and they go to blow it up, but he jumps over the side of the bridge,
He just leaves, it
and
seems.
they look over, and he just splashes in the lake, and they're just like, God, what a coward. Um, and as they're taking Charlotte away, uh, the door of the carriage opens again, and Meyer steps out into the sunlight
Yeah,
and
he starts
approaches
burning
them.
up.
Yeah, he starts burning up, and they're just like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Because none of them understand that he's serious.
Yeah, like this is when you start to get
You understand that
like the
he
sense like,
means it.
oh wait, he actually might love her.
Um, yeah, and he approaches her, and yeah, they shoot him full of crossbow bolts,
Hmm.
and he keeps coming, and Charlotte runs to him, and they're just like, go ahead, pal, you're making our job easier. Uh, and she runs to him, and she pulls one of the bolts from his shoulder, uh, and she says, I love you. I can't live without you. I won't live without you. And she holds it to her own throat. Um, also, Layla gets to witness this because she's using her cool cyberpunk from far away.
Yeah.
And yeah, she holds it to her throat, and the both of them are just like, well, maybe we should just let her kill herself, and then we'll just take her body.
This is the most
No, pay it.
dastardly things that the Marcus brother do in this
They
movie.
are
They're just
pricks
like,
about this situation.
yeah, they're just like, go ahead, bitch, kill yourself.
They're kind of entirely unsympathetic.
Uh-huh. And I
Yes.
was like,
The vibe has
aw.
changed since Nolt died.
Uh-huh. I was like, aw, you guys, come on.
Um, and they are interrupted. They're interrupted in this by the reintroduction of Machiro, who has revealed himself to be a fucking werewolf with a gigantic wolf mouth in his stomach, and has killed
Nice.
Kyle. He has already killed Kyle. You are so
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
I love when a werewolf is treated with like the correct level
Of danger. Yeah.
of danger.
It's
He has
awesome.
already killed Kyle, and yeah, Borgoff turns on him. He's just like, "You son of a bitch!" And he hits the detonator, and he jumps over the side of the bridge, and the explosion comes from the water because yeah, the werewolf took all the fucking bombs with it,
Cleared him out.
leaving nobody to impede Meyerlink and Charlotte from continuing on. Uh, in fact, further on, Machiro just says, "Master, do you hear the hooves behind us?" Just like, continue on to the castle. I will stop him here. Um, and yeah, they approach castle. Let's find the name of this castle. Yeah, Chaythe.
Yeah.
This castle is so fucking cool.
It's crazy.
It's so evil. It's this sprawling like mega structure
So
that doesn't even
gorgeous.
look like a castle.
You look
It's
at
got
it and you're like, wow, is that good?
these fucking blood red bricks. I
Yeah.
believe this is a direct inspiration for the structures that the Hive built in Destiny 2 on the fucking moon.
I can see that.
The evil temple that made the moon haunted.
There's actually so many pieces of media
Hmm.
that you can like tell took some inspiration from this,
I feel like
and it's
a
awesome.
a huge amount of media took inspiration directly from this movie,
Directly
For
from this.
sure.
specifically
Yes.
Devil May Cry and I would say large portions of later Shin Megami Tensei games
Mm,
look like this,
mhm. Yeah.
and Resident Evil games look like this too.
Resident Evil, yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
For sure. For sure.
because the Castle of Chaythe is one of the most beautiful settings I've ever seen in an anime, especially the interior. Um,
Yes.
and they are greeted by Camilla. Uh, Camilla is so evil and she loves it.
She's very
He's
dramatic. She's got
he's
this
giving
huge
them
flowing
yeah,
headpiece and like cape.
she's giving them a speech about how she isn't the bloody Camilla that they've heard the rumors about, while she is wearing a floor-length blood red dress that has a 24-foot long train.
She's literally so funny, you guys.
And
Mm-hmm.
she lays out what she has to offer them, and what she has to offer them is this: there is
She's
a ship
perfect.
that can take them to this and take them into the stars to the city of night. This
Hmm.
every castle of her kind used to have one, but this is one of the few that are left, and she wishes desperately that she could go with them, but she cannot. And Meyerlink is starstruck by this. He just says, "I am eternally grateful."
Hmm.
And she's just like, "Would the young lady like to freshen up?" She shows them the guest rooms. The guest rooms are so fucking evil. Everything in here is like red and is dripping with like silver like ornamentation, like every
Hmm.
surface. This is like
Hmm.
evil Rococo. It's like if fucking Louis the 14th was a vampire.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, there is a PlayStation 1 video game of Vampire Hunter D that I've been wanting to play forever,
Whoa.
and it is
I
set
need it.
primarily in this castle.
Oh, I need to go there.
um, it controls very weirdly, so I've been a little
Holy
afraid to try
shit.
it. Imagine a Resident Evil game in which you had to kill ghosts with a sword.
Whoa. That's crazy.
I often do.
As soon as everybody has separated, there's a scene between Meyer and Charlotte, in which they are standing in front of the mirror, and Meyer is restraining himself from biting her. Like this has happened to him several times. He has seen her blood in her veins, and he has almost bitten her. But through what you can tell is a supreme act of will, he has physically wrenched his head away from her.
Hmm.
Um, this is I have to say this is possibly the most like affecting version of this trope I've ever seen, because it takes him
Yes.
like looks like it takes him genuine physical effort to stop himself.
Yeah, like his teeth are like wiggling. It's crazy.
Wiggling in his head, and he's just like clamping his jaw shut.
He's like, no,
Um,
I won't.
and they have a dialogue about this where she's just like, "Why not? I want to be close to you," and he just says, "You do not understand what it is like to live this way."
Hmm.
To live forever in darkness, craving blood. I cannot imagine that life for you. Uh, and she does throw back at him that he is being to a degree selfish, because she is already like living a life that she doesn't want to.
Yeah,
She is
she's
causing
already
her
dead to the
family
world.
pain, and their pain has reflected back on them
Mhm.
already. The only thing
Hmm.
she has is Meyerlang.
Yeah.
Uh, and he's touched by this, but he says, just says we should talk more about it on our trip to the stars.
Yeah.
Uh,
Listen, if they're going to the stars, she's gonna have to be undead because you can't breathe in space.
yeah, that's a big problem that they haven't considered.
Maybe they
By the
just don't
way,
know.
they don't talk about this at the end of the movie, but I like to believe that one of the scenes at the beginning of the movie where they are talking about, because there's a little interstitial scene where they explain that
Hmm.
it's the far future.
Hmm.
Uh, the architecture in that scene, I like to believe, is a space station,
Yeah.
a gigantic gothic vampire space station.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Um, but yeah, they separate for a while so that she can fresh it up, and things start to get weird
Yeah, things are about
because
to get crazy because
Meyer has unfinished business, and he departs to a hallway lined with statues. He encounters Dee there, and Dee is again standing behind a statue like he likes to do. Um,
mhm.
one of his favorite aura farming spots. Um, and he has his cloak closed, and Meyer is doing his vampire pose. You know, he's transformed his hand into an iron claw.
Mhm.
And Dee says, The woman says she wants to go home. And he lowers his cape, and Charlotte is there with tears in her eyes, clinging to him. And Meyer doesn't understand.
He's like,
Says,
no, this
I
can't be
don't
right.
believe you. And as he is standing there in shock, an axe from one of the statues behind him falls and fucking bisects him,
Cut him in clean in half.
cuts him
Through
clean
his
into two
head.
halves. And he falls to the ground and slides just a couple of millimeters apart so that his face is no longer symmetrical. And you're just like, oh shit, that's the
Oh, they caught
primary
him.
villain of the film.
Yep. Carmilla is fucking getting them. Carmilla is
So,
afoot.
and yeah, back in the powder room, you see Charlotte, and you see the mirror turn into a staircase, into a giant black void full of red candles, with Meyer standing at the top, beckoning to her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, she's like a real monster.
Yeah, she's doing some like what it seems to me is she needs human blood
Well,
to revive
yeah,
herself.
she has her problem.
Mhm.
But what becomes abundantly clear here is that yeah, all of these mutants and stuff have crazy powers, and Meyerlink is an elder vampire,
Mhm.
uh, whose approach freezes water and shit. But Carmilla is like a superlative kind of monster beyond a vampire.
Yes. She's
Like
so scary.
she is a vampiric ghost
Yes.
who infects this castle.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, we have the arrival of the remaining crew uh, to the castle. Dee arrives, and so do the Marcus brothers. And the Marcus brothers, well, Grove argues with them, first of all, because he's just like, you don't go in there. If you two go in there, you won't come back alive. And Marcus and Borgoff ignores him. He needs revenge for Kyle and Nold. And Layla says, I fully intend to come back alive. I will come back alive, Grove. Um, and yeah, and then D enters, and everyone who enters at this point gets to experience their own hallucination.
Get Carmilla. Woohoo!
D comes in and immediately steps into a lake of blood, and sees in the distance his mother,
Mhm.
um, with her back to him. And you get more insight into D's character here because she says, I'm sorry. I know you can't forgive me, but I'm sorry. I loved your father. I don't know what I was supposed to do. And Layla comes in, and she opens a door into a field of snow, uh, with a grave and her own younger self.
That's
It's
this one really got me.
and Borgoff comes in, and he just wanders into the basement. He's just in the catacombs, looking around. And he's just like, "What's going on here?" Uh, and as he gets to the end, two coffins fly down from the other side, and he shoots them full of crossbow bolts, and they fall down. But when they fall down, the lids pop off, and Nolt and Kyle sit up from them. And he just goes, "You guys, I can't believe it." And he doesn't even have time to realize it's like, you can't be here. You're dead.
This is the
Um,
thing with him specifically that really gets me is that his weakness is his like family. Like this has happened multiple times in the film.
yeah,
Like
he's drawn towards them, and just for a second, and that's enough because Carmela just kills him with his own crossbow bolts that are lying on the ground. She
very sad.
telekinetically hurls them through his body.
Way too sad.
Uh,
Rip.
and yeah, when we cut back to Layla, she just she knows it seems she knows on some level that it's an illusion because she or a memory because she approaches herself and she says it's okay, it's not your fault, you can cry. And her younger self says, I don't know who they got to voice the younger version of her, but they try and push her voice into a higher register because she's a child. But her voice is already Pamela Staples.
This scene
Oh
did
yeah, the end of
make
this is
me
bad. It's
blur
tragedy
a
for
little blurry-eyed,
everyone.
but it's
Um,
fine.
because yeah,
It's
she
really
reaches out to her
sad.
and she's pulled away by D because a chandelier was about to crash on her. And Dee
Yeah.
dispelled his illusion immediately. He just swept a
Mhm.
sword through his own mother, and he's just like, "That's not real." I'm I'm sorry, mother, but you've been dead for centuries.
Yeah.
Um, and he just says, "Be careful, it was an illusion." Uh, and then we get to see Camilla again because Camilla is standing sideways on the
Mhm.
wall like David Bowie, about 40 feet up in this grand foyer, and she's just like, "Oh, excellent! I haven't had so much fun in centuries. You two are all doing so well already." um, and the two of them split
Mhm.
up to look for Charlotte. Charlotte, however, is not doing as well in her own illusion because she's already approached the illusionary Myers at the top of the stairs, and he has embraced her and bitten
Mhm.
into her neck. Um, at which point she falls to the ground, and the blood from her wound starts creeping across the floor and up the stairs
It starts
to
seeping
a
upwards the stairs.
sarcophagus with a desiccated corpse with a vampire sword driven through its chest. You can figure out where we're going with this, right? Um,
Yep.
Camilla makes no
It's
bones
her.
about this. She directly assaults Dee at this point. She drags him into her ghost realm, and just shocks the shit out of him with lightning over and over again. Uh, she's her ire is like much more effective than anything like Magnus or any of the other characters did in the previous, because she's like, our race
Mhm.
is dwindling. Like, we are being killed, and you are contributing to our extinction. You should be ashamed of yourself. Uh, and yeah,
Yeah.
he just retorts. It's just, and oh yeah, and she's just like, we we must prey on them. It is the law, like it is the law of nature. Man eats beast, vampire eats man. Uh, And D points out it's just be like no cycle can continue to ever. You can continue forever. If you cannot survive, you must die. And she says to him, "But our spirits are eternal." Because she is a ghost. Like she survived her own execution at the hands of fucking Dracula.
Mhm.
Uh, and he says to her, "Nothing lasts forever." And she just says, "Oh, all right. Well, I suppose I'll have to use force." Uh, and yeah, she tries to shock him to death, but she eventually does trigger his instincts again, because he uses his only vampire power that we've ever seen him really use, which is he uses the spherical force field to push away the lightning and assault her.
Mhm.
Uh, and as he does,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, as he does, we intercut with the blood entering the sarcophagus and reforming her, which I looked at and I was just like, why is this hot? I don't. Hmm. Um,
Yeah.
just like am I learning something about myself? Not really.
Really,
This isn't really
actually.
possible. Not really a fetish
True,
you could have.
true.
but
I mean, it
but
can be.
there are more fetishes in this world than you could imagine.
Think you'll find there are a great many fetishes that are impossible.
Uh, there are more fetishes in this world than your science can explain.
There's nothing scientific about this. Hey, when does Grove show up?
So, Grove
Then I
actually showed
dreamt
up
of in
earlier. I
your
forgot about it.
philosophy.
Because after
Did he save
Camilla talks to them, she sicks her new pet on them, which is Borghoff. She vamped Borghoff somehow.
Oh yeah, she did. I
I'm not
forgot about
exactly sure
that. She
how,
vampired
given that
him.
she didn't really have a
She did it
physical
very
body.
quickly. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, he attempts to take Layla hostage, uh, and is prevented from doing so by Grove in his last hurrah. His
His final
his spirit
yeah.
takes away his brother, and disintegrates
Yeah.
the both of them. And you can see him back in the truck, uh,
Shriveled up.
pass away as he dropped the needle because he administered the drug to himself, um,
Yeah.
to go and get them in the castle. R.I.P. Man,
Rip to a real
ripped to a
one.
real one.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, the final battle plays out here. D strikes her down, and while he's doing so, Meyer Link's face realigns because he is a vampire. It
Mhm.
just took him a minute to fix that.
Yeah, to come back.
Uh, and he swoops down at the last moment before Camilla can drag herself from her sarcophagus to consume Charlotte. Um, and he dashes her away. And Camilla is destroyed. She is finally defeated after all of
Doesn't
these years. There's a great
doesn't
scene.
D slurp her like ghost up with his
Yeah,
ghost
yeah, he
hand?
does that. But there's a scene before that that's even better because when she loses control of the situation and sees him flying at her with the sword, it keeps interposing the blade of his sword with the golden blade of Dracula's sword.
Oh yeah. Yeah, quite
And
good.
she's just like, "Are you the son of the Vampire King? Who are you?" And yeah, he eats her fucking ghost with the parasite hand.
I love it.
I guess that's the only responsible thing to do. We can't leave her hanging around.
Yeah. Can't
She's
no,
so
this
evil,
this
you understand?
she cannot remain in this world.
By the way, I'm reading. I don't know if the Wikipedia plot was like taken from anywhere official, but it lists her specifically as Countess Carmilla Elizabeth Bathory. So she's both. She
Whoa.
is the fictional
Wow.
Camilla and the real Elizabeth Bathory.
Wow, holy shit. Hey.
She's so evil.
Damn. Okay.
Anyway, she was holding up this castle, which is inconvenient for everyone.
Well,
Um,
oh yeah.
uh,
It's gonna collapse, but not before we have a boy
we have
fight.
to have a boy fight because Meyer takes Charlotte away because she appears to be dying of blood loss. And
Mhm.
he says to her, "It's just like don't worry, darling. I'm going to take you away." And she is talking like she is going to die.
Mhm.
She says, "Thank you for letting me dream of our trip to the star, my wonderful
Mhm.
dream."
Aw.
And he says, "We'll go there. We'll go to the stars." Uh, and he is stopped by D. Layla is there too, but she has not stopped him. She has witnessed this conversation and put away her
Mhm.
gun. Um, and Meyer lays her down and he just says, "I'm taking her. You don't understand us." And D won't let him. He says, "I'm going to take her home to the people who love her." Uh, so they have to have a duel, and it's cool as fuck. They have a sword fight. They have a proper fight. No
Mhm.
vampire, no crazy vampire powers or anything. Just sword versus cape. Um,
Oh yeah.
they push against each other. They get into a sword lock and push against each other so hard that it starts heating up both elements, which is something I liked. And while this is
Mhm.
happening, Layla approaches Charlotte and holds her hand, and she says, "What an absolute waste." And she thinks for a moment, and she pulls the ring from her finger, and she says, "I've had enough death and misery." And she throws it down the stairs, and it interrupts. It interrupts their duel. Dee like impales Meyer. Meyer looks down and says, "Why did you miss my heart?"
Mhm.
And he withdraws the sword, and he picks up her ring, and says, "Charlotte is dead. I will take the ring back as proof." And
Mhm.
they just look at each other knowingly, and Meyer picks her up and takes her
Yeah.
away. Uh,
Yep.
and yeah, they head outside, and Leia's just like, "Hey, can I get like a ride? It's a long way to town,
He's like,
and I don't
yeah.
want to drive a tank full of my dead friends."
Understandable. It sucks in there.
Um, And yeah, he just offers her a hand, and she like bats it away and goes to mount in front of him. And when she does, she
Mhm.
looks back at the crumbling castle because she hears the sound of an engine. And as she looks back, the starship is pushing its way up, and it's struggling. And she just says, "Fly, fly, damn you!"
Please, you gotta make it. Come
And it
on.
straightens out and flies up into the sky while she looks on. And then there's a hard cut to one of the best endings to an anime film I've ever seen. There's a hard cut to a
This.
green field
Oh.
where there's a funeral happening. Someone is reading the
Mhm.
last rites. They're saying, "Our Father in heaven, take our sister onto your bosom." And there's people are throwing white roses onto the coffin, and there's a little blonde girl there, and she turns from after she throws her rose, and she looks, and under an apple tree, far away, there's a man on a horse
Mhm.
hiding, but
Oh, aura farming.
he's trying to turn it. He's trying to turn it off. He wants to be unobtrusive,
Hiding behind
but
something.
It's a funeral. Come
it's
on,
a
man.
funeral. But she says, "Oh," and she runs up to him, and he starts to turn the horse away immediately. And she's like, "Mister, hey, Mister,
Yeah.
wait!" And he does stop, and he turns to look at her, and she says, "Oh, it is you. My grandma told me about you." She's like, "Won't you come to our house? It's not far away. My papa would be so happy to meet you." And he just says, "I just came to keep a promise to an old friend."
Oh
She
man.
said she was worried no one would
Oh,
mourn her when she died, and I'm glad to know that she was so wrong. And
like it really
it's
got
really good.
me. Like that that scene did make me cry.
Yeah, and he turns and rides away, and the little girl's just like,
I
"Okay,
know, me
goodbye, mister.
too.
Goodbye." And as he rides away, they could have just cut it there. But then his fucking hand speaks up, and he's just like, "That was nice. You're not such a bad guy. You just dress bad."
Ah, that's the last line.
You really have to deflate. And what was anime movies and deflating the last 30 seconds of the film? I'm looking at
And
Perfect
that is the
Blue
last line of the
in this
movie.
Yeah.
sentence.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Perfect Blue, a nearly perfect fucking movie that ends with a fucking pun and a freeze frame.
Da 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 da.
Anyway,
Oh.
what did you guys think of Vampire Hunter D 2000 or Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust?
Oh man, this I'm gonna go right out with it. This is one of my new favorite
This
pieces of
movie is
vampire
fucking
media of
peak.
all time. One of the best pieces of vampire media of all time. I'm just gonna say that. Actually, crazy good.
Yeah, crazy good. So good. So beautiful. I feel like I can see everywhere that like the later Netflix Castlevania stuff comes from in here.
Dracula Netflix series feels like Meyerlink in places. Uh,
Yeah.
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 I,
And even Alucard like kind of aligns with D in some ways. Like
Alucard talks more than D.
I
yeah,
agree.
this is true. But he's like a good aligned sad boy
True.
Mhm.
who can't live a regular life because humans are fucking bastards.
Alucard and his estranged brother D.
Yeah.
Um, so so yeah, like did you all like anything specific? Because I have been adoring this film for like 15 or 20 years.
Like what's there not to like? Like pretty much basically everything in this is was just
It's
a
absolutely
good
gorgeous.
storytelling, good to look at. I just oh, there's like I'm running out of words to like praise this fucking movie. It's just really good.
It's got Pamela Siegel in it.
She's
It's got
fine.
John
It's fine. She's
DiMaggio in
there.
like 5 roles, and
It's true.
Yeah, he's a lot of guys in this.
Dwight Dwight Schultz is a
Yes.
horrible little gay
Yeah.
man, and also
I couldn't
something
get
else
enough
I
of
can't
him.
remember. Oh, is he
He's
Bengi as
Yeah,
well?
he is.
Oh my god,
Yeah, he is.
Bengi. He's the flying.
Incredible
Right,
animation and artwork
Yeah.
from Madhouse.
It just all had so much feeling to it.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't get over the
And
backgrounds.
every single character in this was
So
good.
beautiful.
Every character in this was likable except for the sheriff.
The sheriff can go
He's
to
a
hell
dumb
and
dumb
explode.
bastard. Um,
Throws knives at him.
So, yeah, if you'd like to further glaze Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, you can do that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is the word, not the number.
You can
It's you. Points at you. You have to do it.
Oh god, is it me?
To it.
You've on
Blue
Twitter
One
cast
episode cast.
number.
Come talk to us. Come talk to us about vampire media.
come learn where I developed like 40% of my aesthetic sensibilities.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no jokes. It's too
That's
good.
it. There's no jokes. It's too good. This is like fucking. When you said
No jokes.
what did you
It's too
compare
good.
it to about Utena? I don't remember. It was the same year.
It's the
Was it
same.
the same
It's
year?
the same year, and in fact,
It was a good fucking year for anime movies with beautiful, gorgeous backgrounds and that make you cry a little.
I don't know if it was actually the same year. I think that might be '98, but
pretty close.
But I
to
tell
each
you
other.
what,
Pretty
when this
close.
movie dropped a title card that was a painting instead of text on a black
Yeah.
screen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking cinema. Good night.
God,
Thank
that
you.
was good.